prevention would have been far better than a cure. Correct? Correct. It's always correct. There's an old saying that says, if that's the place you want to get to, I wouldn't start from here. We have got such a hard battle because we have to try to undo certain power structures that are already established. So you have redistribution and pre-distribution. Redistribution is the distribution of something you've already distributed once before. It's something you've done once before. You've already established a foothold, and you're just strengthening that foothold. Pre-distribution is the implementation. It's the first time you've tried to distribute something. If it gains traction and gets a foothold and a stronghold, and it becomes established, then you have an establishment. You with me? Once you're trying to fight something that's established, an establishment, without the knowledge of how to do it, you're fighting an uphill battle with one arm that you're going to lose. You're just bound to lose. It's a very difficult thing to do. It takes teamwork, not a couple of people here coming up the hill and a couple of people there coming up the hill and a couple of people here coming up the hill, Bosie. It's not. It does take. You see, that's the divide and conquer tactic. You're telling people to stay divided. We're never going to conquer this whole fucking monopoly, the conglomerated monopoly of the power structures that are already established because of their pre-distribution that they've been doing for decades. And even the moment of redistributing their powers, I hate that word, redistributing their perceived authority with new legislations, that the zombies of the world just believe whatever shit comes up on their little fucking Babylonian rectangle of fucking doom. Existentialist crisis rectangles. You finished, have you? Alright. Can I call you back later, Warren? I'm in the middle of a video. Alright, mate. Love you. You're a legend. That's my eldest boy from Queensland. I do not lose contact. Can't be doing that. Now, where was I? See, I've got skin in the game. It's called kids. Not just the ones under the roof of this house. There's also a daughter I've never met, not by my choice. I do this for her too. Everything I do, it has no self-interest. Yeah, I've got skin in the game, but it ain't my skin. Alright? I'm not interested in saving my own skin. Obviously. I'm quite happy to burn it off. I ain't scared of a bit of pain. I've had a lifetime of it. Now, where was we? Yeah. Redistribution, pre-distribution. Footholds and establishments. You can't bring down the establishment. You're not gonna. The only way that we're going to make that work is if we force it to bring itself down. Kind of like how a snake eats itself. If we stop feeding it, it will starve. You can't fight it while you keep feeding it. Okay? You can't fight it while you're still feeding it. You're voting for it. You're working for it. You're paying taxes to it. You're acquiescing to it. You're complying to it. It is going to take 100% mass civil disobedience. Not violence. Just stop going along to get along. Start exercising your fucking no muscle. Your God-given free will. Your God-given ability to think and speak, and your God-given conscience. Stop saying yes when deep down in there you know the answer should be no. What are you more afraid of? Are you more afraid of the immediate here and now, which might be a little bit of pain? Or the eternal, which will be an eternity of pain? I'm far more afraid of the consequences of saying yes than I am of saying no. Because think about all the times in history that apparently you just don't learn from. When everyone said yes and acquiesced and bent the knee and went along to get along, look at where it ended. Because, trust me, they're going to keep trying to create a power structure that makes us nothing but absolute slaves. Slavery isn't over. You just get to pay for your own enslavement now. That's the only difference. You get to pay for it, and instead of whips to enforce you to do things, you get a bit of money, and you can buy yourself a few shiny objects. You get to pay for the house on land that belongs to God. Doesn't belong to real estate, doesn't belong to a property developer, it belongs to no man. We have dominion over it, not ownership. Dominion is we have authority over the land. We don't have ownership of the land. Okay? We don't have the right to just destroy everything. We have the right to live off it. To ensure that we are good custodians. We're only in custody of it. We are in custody of the land, of the earth. We don't own it. You could say we are leaseholders. And in return for what we receive from it, we are to labour. You know, toil, yode. By the sweat of our brow and the toil of our hands. Not with the tyranny of men acquiescing to the commandments and doctrines of men. We are all equal in the eyes of God. Correct? You don't have to even believe in God, but because that's where our entire law structure comes from, and it does, follow it back. Follow the law system backwards. Backtrack it. The same way as when you strip down a rifle and you lay it all out in one direction, you put it back together in the opposite direction. Follow the stepping stones back. Follow it back to Magna Carta 12:15. Follow that back to the Ten Commandments. Follow that back to Moses at the top of Mount Sinai, where he was handed the law. You don't have to believe it, as in you don't have to go to church. I don't care if you believe in God or not. But the paper trail takes us there. The Constitution, our lawful Constitution. History proves it. History itself proves that that is our law structure. So the commandments of and doctrines of men, if they don't come from God, where do they come from? Religious legislatures made up by men. You could say that they come from the devil They come from nefarious ideas on how to rule over people. Or you can throw that out the window if you like and just say they're just legislatures made up by men. It's an illusion. You believe it because you perceive it. The reason you perceive it is because they deceive it. You perceive the legislature that they've made up to deceive you. You have been deceived, lied to. You've been tricked into believing that that's law. They're just words on paper. Look at it this way. How many people out there have suffered at the hands of somebody that you put a restraining order against? But they've got a restraining order. Those people get it better than you. It's just a fucking piece of paper. It's just words on a piece of paper, means nothing to them. They don't give a flying fuck about the restraining orders, ABOs and the FBOs. They get it better than you. A violent, angry, vicious criminal has got more brains than you have. How does that make you feel? They know that for a little bit of cost, they can still come and fucking sort you out. They don't care. They're happy to pay the price. Which today isn't much of a price. You might get a couple of months where they get fed well, 3 hots and a cot, a gym, a library, free medical, a social worker that'll get them an early release. They fucking know the system far better than you do, and they've got far more courage than you. You still feel free? They've got more freedom than you, and they go to prison. They are freer than you when they're in prison. You're doing time. They're doing rehab. They're going away to a fucking wellness centre while you're doing time in your own home. You're doing time outside while you're doing the shopping. You're doing hard time. You're paying for them to go to a wellness centre. How does that make you feel? They're smarter than you. They've got more courage than you. And you pay for it. Why? Because it's a pre-established situation that they have learnt top to bottom, back to front, left to right and inside out. Because they live it. It's a prerequisite. It's a distributed ideology that has got softer and softer and weaker and with more and more creature comforts that costs more and more at your expense. They've got the upper hand with their pre-distributed ideology, a pre-distributed institution. You have no institution. You haven't even tried to distribute one yet. You're trying to play baseball with a wobbly bat made out of ballistics gel. You're trying to play football with a flat ball and a broken foot. The game's rigged. So you're not going to beat it. Okay? You're not going to beat it. You're not going to win a game of heads and tails against somebody who's got their own fucking coin that's got heads on both sides. And another coin with tail on both sides. up their sleeve. How are you going to find the nut under the walnut shell when there is no nut? There's not 3 walnut shells, you know, there's 4. There's either 4 walnut shells or they keep a nut that's up there, just up under here, and then they drop it and slip the shell over it. You know that, don't you? So every time you pick a shell, there's no nut under it. It's because there's no nut under it, under any of them, until they drop one. At the same time as lifting the shell, they drop it. Yeah. Sleight of hand politics. Bait and switch, sleight of hand. You can't defeat it. You have to starve it out. It's the only way that's going to work. Is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to suck? Yes. Will there be losses and cost? Oh, fucking you better believe it. But nothing good ever came easy, and freedom is the hardest thing to get. Once you've surrendered it, and you've surrendered it. It wasn't taken from us, okay? There are those of us who have been fighting to try and keep it and to reel it back since forever. What do you think? What do you think, G? What do you think Christ was doing? What do you think John the Baptist was doing? He wasn't scared. He wasn't scared of any cost. He lost his life as well, you know. He lost his before Christ did. He was Christ's cousin. Nobody has authority over anybody. Nobody is supreme over anyone. Jude, Christ's biological brother, called himself a servant of God, not Jesus' brother, a servant of God, and nothing more. The very last chapter of the Bible. Right in the back. And it's only a chapter. Takes about 4 or 5 minutes to read it. I'm sorry, guys, but there's no way of getting out of this without getting your hands dirty. There's no way of getting out of this without getting a few bruises. Alright? Yeah, we want to avoid the scars and the cuts, but we're not going to. If you're scared to get a bruise, you're in the way and you're a waste of time. You have no intentions whatsoever of putting on the armour of God and picking up the sword of Christ. The sword of Christ is the word, which is what I'm doing now, which is what I do whenever I go out. Anyone that wants to listen can listen. Those who don't want to, you don't have to. You can go away, run away, go on. Be a pussy. Be weak. Let the world walk all over you. It's not the world that's walking all over you, guys. It's an infinitesimal, tiny little handful of people that you're never going to meet. They have no interest in you whatsoever other than what you have to give. They don't take it. This is where you've all got it wrong. They don't take it. You give it. You allow them to take it from you by holding it out open-handed. You're going to have to harden the fuck up, as Chopper would say. Harden the fuck up, cunt. Yeah. Think about all the times when hard, rough men took things from people without having to lift a finger. It was done out of intimidation. It was done out of the presence that they held when they entered the room. You've got 5 seconds to get me $10,000, Neville Bartos, or I'm going to fucking shoot you. There's no money here, Chop. Chopper, money, none here. No money here, Chopper. Okay? He had no money there. Chopper realised he fucked up and took him to hospital. But the presents, not presents as in the box, the presents that he held in the room. Whacking it over people is about the presents that you have. Why do you think the cops get around with all their fucking authority? It's how they carry themselves. It's their presence. They lose their shit when you say no. They lose all composure and turn into a fucking schoolyard bully. They turn into a fuckwit. They either do that or they go to water. But they do not. They do not agree with you. They'll never agree with you. You're never going to get them to acquiesce to God. You're not going to. Why do you think they refuse to swear a lawful oath of office on a Bible? They have put themselves above God. The greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the world he doesn't exist. And how do you do that? You convince them that God doesn't exist. And there goes everything good. Throw everything good out the window and then you start acquiescing to the laws and doctrines of men. As if man is God. Wake up, people. Wake up. Even if there isn't one, live as though there is. Because you just don't fucking know, do you? Not really. Do not confuse belief with knowing. Do not confuse your indoctrinated little idea that's been put in your head either by your mother, your father, your uncle, your school teachers, your martial arts instructor, your guru, that you give money to. I watched my mum do it. 150 grand, gone. $150 grand. Gone on crystals and gurus. Spirit channelers and fucking rune stones and tarot cards and fucking fortune tellers. Witchcraft. Okay? The money that she got from the divorce settlement. Gone on witchcraft. Whether you believe in witchcraft or not. It was pretty good at fleecing her of her money, wasn't it? Think about that. Just think about it.